It is so appropriate that we begin this episode of Fiesta Friday with music, because that is how we begin our show. We are talking about a wonderful event from our friends at the Guam Symphony Society presenting the new World Symphony. Now, who better to tell us about that than our good friend, Dr. Steve Bednarczyk. I can call you Steve after all these years,
Yes,
right?
of course.
Steve in for the uninitiated.
Drop the maestro and the doctor. It's fine.
Yeah.
Steve is fine.
Yeah, I think the last time I called you, the impresario of
Impresario, maestro,
Guam.
many things.
Yeah, and I remember you blushed,
All good things.
the camera caught that and everything. But a new friend of ours and the guest conductor, Dr. Ju-Yong Kwang. So, Doctor, welcome to Guam.
Yeah, thank you.
Half a day. We're happy to have you.
Yeah.
So, what exactly constitutes, Steve, a new World Symphony?
Well, we're giving concerts tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. And it's called the New World Symphony because the main work on the program is the Dvorak Symphony No. 9, also known as the New World Symphony. He wrote it in the 1890s when he was the director of a conservatory in New York City back then. And it's got a very famous largo movement. And it's sometimes known as Going Home or something like that. So the whole concert's based around the New World Symphony by Dvorak.
Okay, and this is pre-industrial age, obviously
Yes.
pre-age of the internet and everything
Yeah.
like that. Does the music kind of reflect some of the
Well,
time period?
Dvorak's a wonderful composer. Melodies just kind of bubbled from him effortlessly. And his Ninth Symphony is one of the most popular works in the symphonic repertoire. So people will recognize particularly the slow movement. And it's also got a very popular last movement, and even the first movement also. The first half of the program has Liszt Le Préludes. It's a very famous symphonic poem for orchestra, which is kind of a one-movement symphonic work of a descriptive quality. And then after the Le Préludes, the wonderful David Duenas, very famous guitarist here on island.
Of course.
Yes,
Good
who
friend
lived
of
in San
ours.
Francisco for a long time, is going to be performing a work by Joaquin Rodrigo, the Concerto de Arañuas. And the slow movement of that is very, very famous, also made famous by Miles Davis and his album Sketches of Spain, and heard in many different places. So Dr. Kwan is our guest conductor. David Duenas is our guest guitar soloist for this program. And it's going to be at the Lotte Hotel. There's a dinner concert on Saturday. It starts at 6 o'clock, and then the concert starts at 7:30. That's $75 a person. And then Sunday, it's a matinee concert, no food. Just come and enjoy the music, and that's at 3 p.m. at Lotte, downstairs in the ballroom.
Yeah, Dave Duenas does such amazing work with nylon strings when he plays like Spanish-style guitar, and I can't wait to hear him play.
Oh, he sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
And he's got an amp with him, too, so you can hear it above the orchestra.
He's a true pro, and he's also one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet.
Yeah, he actually came and played the same piece about 10 years ago. And we have a little better band this time and an excellent conductor, so it's a really, really nice concert, shaping up to a really nice concert.
Well, perfect segue for you, and you've been doing broadcast now with me so long and everything. We can switch over. Dr. Kwan, as our guest of honor and as the guest conductor, what makes performing these pieces either so challenging and or so liberating?
Well, it was, any symphony is hard to play, like with symphony. So usually I don't do the symphony in South Korea because it's hard to make the good sound. But like Maestro made a good symphony orchestra. So I think I'm just waiting my arms and it's really good sound. Yeah.
Well, I think that's false modesty because obviously your qualifications speak for themselves. You come to us from the University of Washington where you did your work, and
I finished my doctorate in conducting.
And then you're home in South Korea, and you're very, very experienced. But
right, I'm conducting Seoul Orchestra, which is a private orchestra in Seoul. Yeah.
Yeah. What are again some of the challenges of being able to play this kind of music with modern day musicians who even if they study the classics and classic techniques and everything like that, they grow up in a completely different time period, and playing with a ensemble that large and everything like that, and making one coherent sound with so many different pieces. What are some of the challenges of that?
It's a hard question.
Well, one of the biggest challenges, particularly out here, is getting everyone together at the same time in the same room. Once that's
which is a uniquely Guam thing.
Yeah, very, very Guam thing. But also, so much of society today is catered towards YouTube videos and short 3 or 4 minute snippets of things. SNL is perfect for that. You have your short little comedy sketches. And with these larger works, one of the things for the musicians that study this, and particularly the younger musicians in the orchestra, is getting to understand a larger form and how it expands more slowly. Because when the Dvorak Symphony No. 9 lasts 45 minutes, 35, 45 minutes, depending on how fast he conducts. And getting to understand that the whole thing's going to unfold in this amount of time, that they have to experience it and understand how it works in a larger way, instead of just getting to the point right away. Kind of building up to the musical climaxes. And working through stuff, and the level of concentration it requires also.
You've mentioned that before. You said the crescendo is almost as important as the climax of the music.
True, because the first movement starts slowly, but then it reaches this development section where it's very climactic, but that doesn't happen until 6 or 7 minutes in, which a normal YouTube video is over by then. And you're watching the next thing. So it's a different way. And then there's 4 separate movements to that also. So it's a different way of understanding music compared to most pop songs, which pop music's wonderful. It's 2-3 minutes. You know?
Now, Dr. Kwan, it's interesting because the classical conductor method is you're typically facing the musicians with the crowd to your back, who you normally can't play off of, like you know, a band musician would say, like, okay, the crowd's really into it, let me work up this part. How do you, or do you try and, you know, kind of like read how the crowd is reacting to the music as you're directing your musicians?
First of all, I have to focus. I mean, he's doing the same thing. I have to focus on the music. You know, like I have to focus on, like I always have eye contact with the players. So I can give them my trust, and I can, you know, like absorb their like emotional things. So I think that's a hard thing for the conductor. You know, so we're not making any sound, right? We're not making any sound, so it's very hard to keep in touch with every players, so that they can, you know, trust me to what they are doing. So
well, the passion is obvious, and gentlemen, we're very happy to have you here, and you know, we can't wait to see the performance, which is going to be what time again, Steve? And how can people get
Saturday night is 6 o'clock dinner starts, 7:30 concert. Sunday is 3 p.m. concert at the Lotte Hotel. Go to the GuamSymphony.com website or call 477-195 1959. 477-1959.
You're thinking of 4/4 time. You're always you're
exactly.
You're a human metronome, basically. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. To work up to the concert and everything, I'm going to go like watch Mr. Holland's Opus on
Please do.
on Netflix, because I want to get in. Okay, I am going to conduct us into commercial break and everything, but stay tuned because we will be right back after this.